Two worthless odd-job employees named Valentine Val McKee and Earl Bassett are introduced in the film. They mainly take care of cows, fix fences and railings, and assist farmers in a sleepy town called Perfection. They do not have a lot of money to their names, and the only vehicle they have access to is a worn-out truck. They make friends with the majority of the people who reside in the dusty town that is nearby where they live. A little portion of the now desolate Perfection Valley is occupied by the town of Perfection. The only thing separating the town from the surrounding mountains is a county road. This is a recap of the 1990 movie Tremors. Beware, spoilers ahead. Rhonda LeBeck is a student at the institution who researches earthquakes. She explains to them that she is observing strange patterns on their seismographs, despite the fact that there have been no earthquakes in the area. Val is attracted to her, but he would rather fantasize about having a playmate, so he doesn't ask the seismologist out on a date. One day, Val and Earl find the village drunkard, Edgar, hanging from the top of an electricity tower with a gun to his head. Edgar's body is discovered by Val and Earl. They start to wonder whether he was so afraid of something that he opted to die up there of thirst rather than face whatever it was that he was afraid of. They take him to the doctor, who determines that Edgar passed away from dehydration but does not offer any explanation for his death. Miguel, a local cattle rancher, mentions how a significant portion of his herd vanished without a trace at one point in the conversation. The doctor and his wife are living in a trailer while they are in the process of building a house. One evening, the doctor is awakened by an eerie sound and witness a natural occurrence that resembles a steam vent spouting from the ground. He decides to look into the matter since he believes that they may have found a pocket of natural gas. He is yelling in agony as the ground suddenly gives way beneath him and he is forced down into the hole against his will. Meanwhile, his wife is attempting to pull him out of the hole. She is digging in the earth frantically when all of a sudden a snake's head appears and hisses at her. She tries to take refuge in their vehicle, but whatever just assaulted her husband starts pulling the vehicle beneath the surface. Val and Earl become dissatisfied with the odd jobs that they perform for the citizens of the town, and they make the decision to pack up their few belongings and go. They do this despite the fact that the local potter, Megan, has offered them a lucrative project to construct a new ceramic oven for her, and that she has also promised to give them as much free beer as they like. As they were leaving town, they made a pit stop at Old Fred's farm, where they discovered that he had been beheaded and that his head was lying half buried under his fedora. We are concerned that a potential killer is still at large. They find that the road is blocked by a small landslide when they get there. They step out of their truck to yell at the men, presuming that it was caused by the two men working on the road, but instead they find the men's helmets laying in the road, which are covered with blood and slime. As they make their way out of the area, Val accidentally drives over a ridge and becomes trapped there. They eventually manage to free themselves from the vehicle and make their way back into town. When they arrived at the location, they saw a long appendage that resembled a snake wrapped around the vehicle's rear axle. Because all of the phone lines have been severed and there is no mobile phone network coverage in the region, the shopkeeper, a shady character named Walter Chang, gives them use of 2 horses, so that they can report the situation to the county police. Bert and Heather have constructed a nuclear refuge for themselves and filled it with heavy weaponry so that they don't feel the need to be afraid of anything. Melvin Plug, an ignorant teenager, mocks them. Although Val and Earl are riding as quickly as they can, their horses become startled when they see some of the snakes. They flee on foot, but the monster is right behind them and is running after them. While they were fleeing, they attempted to jump over a concrete ditch, which resulted in the creature that was after them being instantly killed when it collided with the wall of the ditch. Exactly at that time, the seismologist appears once more. They find out that the beast has a foul odor, is many meters in length, and that the snakes were actually a kind of tentacle that protruded from its beaked mouth. Rhonda examines her seismographs and discovers that there must be at least 3 further instances of those monsters with snake mouths. When the 3 are making their way back to Perfection, one of the other creatures makes an attempt to snatch them. The only thing they can see is a cloud of dust being kicked up behind the creature as it moves through the loose soil of the valley. From now on, the presence of this dust trail will indicate the presence of an animal that is moving around underground. Val, Earl, and Rhonda are fighting for their lives until they find themselves cornered atop some steep rocks that the animals are unable to scale. They remain there, although the organisms can endure quite a bit of waiting. Finally, Rhonda comes up with a strategy that allows them to escape the hungry monsters by climbing from one rock to another and jumping into their van while they are being closely pursued by the creatures. They come at this conclusion because animals are able to make sense of the vibrations that people produce as a result of their noise, which can be caused either by simple movement or by talking. After returning to the pharmacy, Walter comes up with the name Gruboids for the monsters. Melvin is still making fun of Earl and Val's stupidity, but Val has to put his life in danger to save Mindy Sterngood, who is hopping around with her headphones on and not listening to her mother Nancy's calls for help. They believe they have outwitted the Gruboids by finding refuge on the roofs of buildings. Nevertheless, the Gruboids then proceed to damage the foundations of the buildings. The structures are unrefined and easily damaged because they are solely composed of planks of wood. After crawling out from behind the shoddy wooden shop floor, a Gruboid is successful in eating Walter. Another Gruboid consumes Nestor, and one of them is able to breach one of the Gummers' underground fortifications. Nevertheless, the Gummers fight back with all of their available armament and are ultimately successful in eliminating the savage creature. The survivors grab a bulldozer and attempt to flee the area while riding on it. Additionally, they travel to find the Gummers, who have crafted a variety of weaponry and are waiting for them. The Gruboids possess a high level of intelligence, and they set a trap for the humans that turns out to be successful. Everyone needs to get to the rocks as quickly as possible. They wait there amidst the Gruboids who have surrounded them. They come up with a different plan. They toss explosives at the animals, which, despite the fact that they are able to digest anything, are terrified of loud noises since they are sensitive to pain. The dynamite detonates within one of the creatures, which results in the creature's death. They attempt the same con on the second Gruboid, but the remaining creature regurgitates the explosives, forcing them to abandon their formerly secure stomping ground. Since Val is currently out in the open earth, it is highly likely that the last remaining Gruboid will find him and consume him. He makes the decision to flee, but the Gruboid is far faster than he is. Val steps away as he is about to jump from a high cliff, but the Gruboid is unable to halt because of the distraction caused by their previous dynamite burst, and it falls from the cliff onto the emptiness below. They are both alive and doing well, and Earl manages to talk Val into taking Rhonda out on a date. Rhonda is a student at a prestigious institution, and she has a bright career ahead of her, in contrast to Val, who has no possibilities. Val makes an effort to combat it. Earl explains to him that she is the one who is responsible for making a decision such as that. The closing scene reveals that there is at least one more carnivorous species alive by showing some loose dirt moving over the parched soil of the valley. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to see more videos like this. Click like and turn on notification to help out the channel.